The courtroom went silent before a single word was spoken. Not quiet, silent. The kind of silence that presses against your chest, that makes every breath feel too loud. Because everyone in that room already knew something wasn't right. $1 million lottery ticket, two sisters, one claim, and a truth that was about to detonate everything. Emily Harper stood at the plaintiff's table, fingers trembling slightly against the edge of worn wood, her thrift store blouse creased from hours of anxious waiting. Across from her, Vanessa Harper sat like she owned the building, heels crossed, designer handbag resting beside her, chin tilted just enough to look down on everyone else. She didn't look worried, she looked bored. And if you think this is just a simple family dispute, pause right here, because what unfolds next will challenge everything you think you know about loyalty, power, and what people become when money enters the room. Tell me in the comments right now, who do you believe? The quiet sister or the confident one? The judge entered without ceremony, but the shift in the room was immediate. Conversations died mid-breath, papers stopped moving. This wasn't just any judge. This was the kind of authority that didn't need to raise their voice to command the truth. Calm eyes, still posture, a presence that felt like it could see straight through you. Emily spoke first. Her voice was soft, but it didn't break. She explained how she bought the ticket after a late shift at a diner, how she scratched it at the kitchen counter under flickering fluorescent light, how her heart nearly stopped when she realized she'd won. $2 million. Enough to finally breathe. Then her voice tightened, and she took it. Every head turned. Vanessa let out a slow, amused sigh, brushing an invisible speck of dust from her blazer. I didn't take anything, she said coolly. I claimed what was already mine. A ripple of whispers passed through the courtroom. That's when everything changed. The judge leaned forward just slightly. Explain that. Vanessa didn't hesitate. She lives in my house, eats my food, uses my money. That ticket, it was bought with my cash. I simply corrected the situation. The courtroom went dead silent. Emily looked down for a moment, then back up, eyes glassy but steady. There was something unspoken there, something deeper than money. The case, on the surface, seemed straightforward. Ownership dispute. Who paid for the ticket? Who had the right to claim it? But the moment evidence began to unfold, the story started bending in ways no one expected. First came the receipt, time-stamped. 11:18 p.m., a gas station 2 blocks from Emily's workplace, paid in cash. Vanessa smiled faintly. Exactly, my cash. The judge didn't respond. Instead, he turned to Emily. Did you receive that money as a loan? Emily hesitated, and in that hesitation, the room leaned forward. No, she said finally. I earned it. Tips from work. I just kept it in the same drawer she uses. Vanessa's smile tightened. Then came the CCTV footage. Grainy, flickering, but clear enough. Emily entering alone, counting small bills, shoulders slumped from exhaustion. No Vanessa, no one else, just her. The whispers grew louder. Vanessa shifted in her seat, just slightly. That proves nothing, she snapped. She had access to my money. But the judge was already watching her differently, because arrogance doesn't hide well under pressure. Next came the messages. A projection lit up the courtroom wall. Texts from that night. Emily. I think I won. I'm shaking. Vanessa. Don't say anything. Bring it to me. Now. The courtroom went silent again. A different silence this time. Heavier. Vanessa leaned forward quickly. I was protecting her. She's naive. She would have lost everything. The judge's gaze didn't move, because control often disguises itself as concern. A witness was called. A co-worker from the diner. She described Emily counting tips carefully, mentioning she'd been saving for months. Described Vanessa showing up sometimes, loud, dismissive, treating Emily like an inconvenience. Then came the neighbor. She was yelling, the neighbor said. The older one, saying things like, "You owe me this, and don't forget who takes care of you." Emily closed her eyes briefly. Vanessa scoffed. Family arguments, that's all. But the cracks were spreading now. And then it happened. The line that changed everything. Vanessa laughed, shaking her head. Honestly, Your Honor, even if she bought it, she wouldn't know what to do with millions. That kind of money belongs with someone who understands it. The courtroom didn't breathe, not a shuffle, not a cough. Dead silent. The judge sat back slowly, folding his hands. That kind of money belongs with someone who understands it, he repeated softly. And in that moment, you could feel it, the shift, the collapse beginning. Then came the final piece, a document, printed, signed, an agreement Vanessa had drafted months earlier. It stated that in exchange for living under her roof, Emily would contribute any unexpected financial gains to household assets. Gasps broke through the silence. Emily's name was signed at the bottom, but her signature looked wrong, shaky, uneven. The judge examined it carefully. Did you sign this willingly? He asked. Emily swallowed. She told me I had to, or I'd have nowhere to go. Vanessa shot up slightly. That's not coercion, that's responsibility. The judge didn't raise his voice, but when he spoke, it cut through everything. No, he said calmly. That's exploitation. The word hung in the air like a verdict before the verdict. Vanessa opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Because now the truth wasn't slipping, it was flooding. The judge leaned forward, eyes locked onto her. You built a system where dependence looked like debt, he said, where survival came with conditions. And when fortune appeared, you didn't celebrate your sister. You moved to claim her success as your own. Vanessa's composure cracked. I supported her for years, and you charged her for it, the judge replied instantly. A murmur spread like wildfire. You mistook generosity for ownership. You mistook control for entitlement. And now you stand here trying to legalize what is, at its core, manipulation. The courtroom went silent again, because everyone knew this was the moment. This court recognizes Emily Harper as the sole legal owner of the lottery winnings, the judge said. A breath released across the room. But he wasn't finished. The document presented is invalid under duress. Furthermore, the attempt to seize these funds through coercive agreement constitutes civil fraud. Vanessa's face drained of color. Judgment is entered against you. And just like that, it was over. The arrogance collapsed completely. Her posture shrank. Her voice disappeared. Emily didn't move for a moment. Then slowly, she exhaled. Not a victory cheer, not tears, just release. Because justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it restores. In the weeks that followed, Vanessa's world unraveled quietly. Legal consequences mounted. Relationships dissolved. That one document, the one she thought would secure everything, became the very thing that exposed her. Emily moved out, paid off her debts, found a small place of her own. No spotlight, no revenge, just dignity. And that's what stayed with people, not the money, the truth. So tell me, when the courtroom went silent, when everything shifted, did you see it coming? If this story moved you, if it reminded you that truth always finds its way through the noise, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because sometimes justice doesn't just win, it reveals who people really are